Hey, it's Dr. Walter here from Back to Health Chiropractic Center, right here in the beautiful city of Vaughan. Thanks for coming to this video, whether you're on live or watching it later on this Facebook post. I'm the author who wrote this book, Back to Health by Choice, How to Relieve Pain, Conquer Stress, and Supercharge Your Health the Chiropractic Way. And I'm working on a new book now for people that have back pain, for people that are struggling with back pain. I have several videos out there on YouTube that give people back pain relief tips, and I'm going to give you 2 tips today on how to relieve back pain at home. And one of the things that I've realized is that in our community of Vaughan, there's a lot of people out there that are struggling with back pain. They may have tried other resources, may have tried other therapies, maybe even drugs, possibly have tried surgery or on the road to surgery or had surgical consultations, and there's a big impact on how this back pain is affecting them. And my concern is that they're just not getting the answers or solutions that are suitable for them. So I want to reach out to people in our community and give them the answers and solutions to back pain that have been working for our patients in the last 16 years here at Back to Health Chiropractic Center. And I want to put all of those resources and tips and strategies and theories of back pain and how to prevent and deal with back pain in this book that I'm calling the Back Pain Resource Guide. And what I've been getting questions from a lot of people out there in our community. So what I'm asking you today is to ask me your your biggest question about back pain. No question is too silly. It can be anything. And there's a link on this video right here on this post. Just click on that link. There's a little form where you can actually add your question there, your response to your question, and then click submit. And in exchange for your effort and for your input in me writing this book, I'm going to give you one of the first people to have access to a free copy of Back Pain Resource Guide when it comes out, just to say thank you in your contribution for me helping write this book. Now, so if you have a question, make sure you click on this link that you see on this post, and then give me your question so I could include the answer to that question in the book that I'm writing. So before you go on this video, I want to give you a tip when it comes to getting relief for back pain at home. One of the most common questions I get asked when it comes to relieving back pain is when do I use ice and when do I use heat? And I can tell you, for all the new patients that come into my office, a lot of them ask me that question, and most people get it wrong. And they're trying all kinds of different things, and they're hearing advice from all different people. But I want to level the record straight when it comes to when to use ice and when to use heat. And I tell you what I tell my practice members and patients that have back pain. So let me give you some examples here. This is an example of an ice pack. I just took this out of the freezer right now. We have a little freezer in our office. And this particular gel pack can be used for ice pack when it's frozen, or can be used for heat by heating it up in the microwave or in boiling water. So the best time to use ice is during an acute injury. When you have an acute injury or acute back pain. What does an acute injury mean? That means a brand new back incident or brand new back pain that just happened, and up to 3 days. The reason why is you want to have a strategy to cope with that pain naturally, and ice is a very good strategy to put on the injured area of your back to help numb the pain, right? It will reduce the inflammation a bit. It will cool the area down, but the key thing is to help you cope with the pain and help numb the pain for several days so the acuteness can come down and you can get functional again. So I recommend ice in the first, second, or third day, possibly even up to the first 7 days, but not past 7 days. For sure in the first 3 days and not past 7 days. You want to use ice during an acute immediate injury or a flare-up. If you had back pain for a long time and you had an acute flare-up, then you use ice again during that flare-up. You don't want to use ice if you had back pain for a chronic time. So 3 months, 6 months, definitely more than a year, 2 years and beyond. So chronic back pain. You don't want to use ice for chronic back pain. The reason why is there is an inflammatory process that's occurring when you have an injury, and there's acute inflammation and chronic inflammation. But inflammation, even though it's painful, it causes swelling and redness and decrease in function. The inflammation is the body's way for you to heal the injury, the injured tissues. So in the first few days, inflammation is important, but you want to cope with the pain, so ice is good. Later on, when back pain becomes chronic, hopefully it doesn't, but when it becomes chronic, you need that inflammatory process to help induce that healing process in the body. So you don't want to minimize inflammation with ice. And how does the ice minimize inflammation? Well, it decreases the blood flow to the area, and blood brings the immune cells that trigger inflammation in your body. So ice is good for the first 3 days and not during a chronic back pain episode. The other scenario is heat. So sometimes, this is an example of a heating pad. Now this is an electric heating pad. I really like this because it gives off a moist type of heat, and moist heat is the best for your body. There's other types of heating pads. There's water bottles, and then of course you can use one of these gel packs when they're heated up. So when you use heat, first of all, don't use heat in an immediate injury, an acute injury, or an acute flare-up, because it's just not going to feel comfortable on an inflamed tissues. So you want to use heat after 7 days, and certainly if you've had a back problem that's been existing more than 3 months, 6 months, and definitely beyond the year. So chronic back pain. Why is heat good for chronic back pain? For back pain that's been persisting for a long time? Because heat helps bring blood to the area, helps bring healing chemicals to the area, and helps the blood vessels dilate and flush out any toxins, any noxious toxins from the inflammatory process that are triggering the nerves and getting them pain sensitive. So that's number one. It also relaxes muscles, it feels good, and decreases muscle tension. So it's a good way to cope with chronic aching back pain that's been around for 6 months, a year or more. Now, when you're using ice or heat, there's several protocols you need to follow. Number one, and this is for both. So number one, don't just put a cold ice pack on your skin, and don't just put a hot pack on your skin. Wrap it around with a towel. It can be a moistened face towel. It can be a paper towel. Moistened is fine. Dry is okay too, to protect your skin. That's number one. Number two, I usually tell people to put an ice pack on for about 5 minutes. 5 minutes is usually enough. And for heat, I tell people to put on for about 10 minutes. So you want to set a time limit, 5 minutes for ice and 10 minutes for heat. And don't repeat it every 10 or 20 minutes. Wait about an hour and then repeat it again, if necessary, every hour. So there's 2 tips on how to cope with back pain at home. And there's ice for acute injuries and heating pad for chronic aching backs that have been around for a long time. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. Give that a try if you have a sore back, whether it's acute or chronic, and you'll find that you'll see that they'll give you the relief you need. Now, thank you again for watching. If you have a question about back pain, don't leave it in the comments below. Click on that link on this post and leave your question about back pain, and I'll make sure it gets answered in the new book that I'm writing, which is called Back Pain Resource Guide. And then once you click on the link, make sure you put your email, because when this book is ready, I will email a copy of that book. So thank you again for watching, and looking forward to talking to you again soon.